Welcome back. We are still on topic number 6, where we are discussing on agricultural marketing. Remember, last time we defined agricultural marketing. Apart from that, we also looked on the importances of agricultural marketing. Then thereafter, we emphasized on the two market forces which influence price at the market. That was demand and supply. So we defined what demand is. We also defined what supply is. And then we also look on how the two market forces determine price at the market. So today we are proceeding from where we stopped, and today we are starting by looking on categories of marketing functions. Remember, we defined marketing as all processes involved in the transformation and flow of goods and services from the farm to the consumer, So we defined agricultural marketing as all processes involved from the point of production to the point of consumption. So between the point of production, and the point of consumption, in between, there are several activities which are involved, or there are several processes which are involved in between. So those processes are the ones which we call them marketing functions. So the processes involved in marketing are known as marketing functions. They are known as marketing functions. It is not possible for the products just to reach the final consumer without any processes being done in between. So there are processes which are done in between the point of production and the point of consumption. So in short, we are saying all those processes involved between the point of production and the point of consumption, they are what we call marketing functions. So these marketing functions, or these activities, or these processes involved, they are categorized into 3 groups, namely exchange functions, physical functions, as well as facilitating functions. So these are the 3 categories of marketing functions, or categories of processes or activities involved in the flow of goods from the point of production to the point of consumption. So we have exchange functions, physical functions, as well as facilitating functions. So what's the difference among the 3? For exchange functions, we're just talking of those activities involved when you are exchanging goods between the consumer and the producer. Obviously, in order for the products to reach the final consumer, it means there is need of transferring of ownership from the producer to the consumer. So they will exchange. There will be an exchange of ownership from the producer to the consumer. So those are the exchange functions. So such activities may include buying as well as selling. So most traders buy agricultural produce either in small quantities or large quantities from farmers and store in warehouse for sale later on. The buying is usually carried out by individual traders or marketing boards, while selling refers to the activities that exist in presentation of the product to the consumer for eventual buying. Selling, therefore, involves bargaining for better prices. Remember, the buyers, they'll need to buy the commodities at low price. So they'll be negotiating for better prices those sellers, so that at least they can sell at a good price, displaying the produce in the market, and also selling is only complete when the consumer accepts the product and pay for its value. So that's it on exchange functions. But on physical functions, we're talking all those activities which involve the physical touch of the product, For example, we have transportation and distribution. This is the physical movement of products from one point to another. So the produce may be transported from buying centers to factory for processing, buying centers to consumers, either within the country or outside the country, processing factories to the wholesalers or retailers, and also distribution ensures consumers get the produce at the right time and within easy reach. Another physical function is packing. Packing refers to putting produce in containers such as sacks, crates, boxes, or baskets. So, packing aims at facilitating transportation of produce and protects the produce against damage in bad weather conditions, thereby preventing theft and adulteration. Packing also assists in qualification of produce into appropriate weights or amount which can be easily handled. Then we have storage. Agricultural produce, remember, they are seasonal. It is characterized by excess supply during harvesting and scarcity during inter-harvest periods. So to ensure the availability of those produce throughout the year, there is need of necessary storage. So storage protects the produce between harvest seasons. Storage protects the produce between harvest season and where it's off season. And the storage sometimes will also protect against damage by pests as well as diseases. Processing is another physical function. This refers to changing of state of products into a more acceptable or usable form. For example, wheat is ground into flour, raw milk is changed into powder milk, yogurt or cheese. Hides and skin are exchanged into leather. Processing increases the shelf life value of most produce and allows consumers to choose a wide variety of forms for certain products. For example, fresh meat or candy meat. Grading and standardization is another physical function. Grading refers to sorting the produce in terms of quality. It makes it easy to assign a price tag to the produce depending on its quality. Most of the times, those of high quality, high price is assigned, while those with low quality, low price again. So grading enables consumers to buy the quality they prefer. And grading is usually done according to various market standards. Then we have assembly, another physical function. Assembling refers to collection of or gathering of goods from different places to a common place. So goods from scattered areas are brought into a common area, forming a bigger lot. Assembling facilitates easier transportation, grading, and cover cost of transportation. For example, assembling tea, coffee, or milk to buying centers. Then we also have displaying. Displaying involves arranging agricultural produce in attractive patterns conspicuously to easily attract the potential consumer or buyers. Then we have packaging. This is carried out after processing of the produce. Packaging is the wrapping of the produce with the materials in which it is finally presented to the consumers or to buy. Packaging is transportation of the products and makes the product presentable to consumers. And packaging as well helps to keep the product safe from any contamination. So that's on the exchange functions. So there are also other activities or processes involved, of which they are under facilitating functions. Facilitating functions, we're talking of all those activities which will help agricultural marketing to function smoothly. For example, we have financing. Capital is needed to finance all the marketing functions, right from the purchase of raw materials to the final sale of the finished goods. So financing is needed in order for those products to be transferred from the point of production to the point of consumption. We cannot run away from financing. So financing is a really important marketing function. After procuring goods, marketing agencies need time to prepare them for the consumer before they can earn any return. So sometimes farmers accept to be paid before the produce is sold. Marketing agencies therefore require money to carry out various activities. Remember, there are several activities which are done between the point of production to the point of consumption. In between, there are several activities. So those activities, they are performed by individuals or companies. So those companies or individuals which will be performing those various marketing activities, at least they will require money to carry out those activities. Those activities, they cannot be run for free. So that's financing. Then we have correction and analysis of market information. Sometimes market information, we call it market intelligence or market research. This is all about gathering information on the market situation for particular products. The information aids in price determination, where and when to sell the product or buy the product. So this helps to sell the produce at the best price at the market. Before you sell the products, you make sure that you search, you do market research where you can sell those products. Remember, the sellers, they want to sell their products at high price so that they can have more profit. So therefore, when it comes to searching where to sell, they should do the market research so that they sell the products at the market where they are selling at high price. But in terms of buying now, those buyers, they also need to do market research. Remember, the buyers, they would like to buy the commodities at the cheapest price. So they need to search where they can buy the commodities at cheap price. So market research is another activity which is done. Apart from that, advertisement. Advertisement is under facilitating function. This will help to aid agricultural marketing as well. It will be impossible for you to sell the commodity of which the consumers, they are not having information about, or they do not know the existence of that product. So this is the art of informing, stimulating, and educating the consumers on the particular product. So the consumers are made aware of the presence and advantages of a particular commodity in the market. Therefore, advertisement aims at persuading the consumer to buy the product at the expense of competing products. Risk bearing is another facilitating function. The time period between buying of the produce from the farmer to the time when it is sold may sometimes be very long. So during this period, other unforeseen happenings or circumstances can occur, such as price fluctuation, change in government policy, theft of the produce, and change in consumer preference. You have already produced, but now the consumers are no longer liking that product. Therefore, it is prudent for the marketing agencies to be ready for such risks. Remember, a risk is the difference between the predicted outcome and the actual outcome. So there might be some changes. Some of these risks can be insured against by purchasing of insurance premiums. So risk bearing is one of the facilitating function. So that makes the end of the three categories of marketing functions. Remember, we have physical, we have exchange functions. We're talking of exchanging of ownership from the producer to the consumer. Then we have mentioned of physical functions. We're talking of physical handling of those products. Then we've mentioned of facilitating functions. We're talking of those functions which will aid agricultural marketing smoothly. Now let us look on the problems associated with the agricultural marketing. There are several problems associated with agricultural marketing. This can be due to their characteristics. The characteristics of agricultural products can be because of the nature of agricultural products, or just the characteristic of the farmer as well. So some of the here we're going to discuss on the problems and some suggested solutions towards each and every problem. Number one, we have seasonality. This is very true, just because most of the products, they are seasonal. Some of them you may have on a certain period, while the other period they are nowhere to be seen. So supply of the produce is dependent on seasons. For example, vegetables and milk are plenty during rainy season and short in supply during dry season. But cereals are abundant in supply during the dry season immediately after harvesting. So this creates a problem of surplus at a certain period, and also a problem of shortage of produce at a certain period, thereby causing problems of price fluctuation. So how can we handle such a situation? The possible solution is just by making sure that farmers invest in irrigation agriculture to ensure that crops are produced throughout the year, including the dry season. So this can help to get rid of the problem of seasonality of the crops. Apart from that, when they are on season, when those produce their own season, in case they are in surplus, you can just keep some. You can just keep some so that they should be available when they are off season. So that's another suggested possible solution. Another problem is another challenge associated with the agricultural marketing is perishability. Most agricultural produce are perishable and hence lose quality rapidly. Products such as fruits, vegetables, eggs, meat, milk are quite perishable and hence need to reach the market quickly before spoiling. So that's the challenge. Most of the agricultural products we are dealing with they are perishable. They can easily go bad. So there is need to them to reach market as quickly as possible before spoilage. So the possible solution can be to solve perishable problems. Specialized storage facilities should be availed. For example, use of cold stores and refrigerated transport vehicles. And also another possible solution can be processing of the produce so that can increase their shelf life value. For example, canning of the fruits, dehydration of vegetables, pasteurization of milk, uh, like first choice milk. That milk is pasteurized, that's why it can stay for a long period of time. Or just processing milk into powder, they can stay for years. Another possible solution under perishability is improvement of transport system, which helps deliver the products fast enough to the market. For example, producing milk, vegetables near accessible loads in markets. Another challenge associated with agricultural marketing is storage. So due to seasonality of the produce, agricultural produce need to be stored when in surplus to ensure their continuous supply during times of deficit. But this requires construction of storage structures which are expensive to construct. So that's the challenge. And hence increased cost of marketing. Such structures, we're talking of silos, bins, and other modern and traditional stores. Those are very, very expensive. So that's it. Some of the farmers, they may not manage to construct such storages. So that's the challenge. Another challenge under storage can be poor storage itself, which may cause problem of product spoilage. You have kept the products, but they can be spoiled while they are in the storage room. So what can be the possible solutions? The government should facilitate construction of communal grain handling silos and bins. And cold stores should also be present to handle perishable products, protect them from spoilage. Price fluctuation is another challenge associated with agricultural marketing. When the produce is in high supply, price tend to be low. And when the produce are in low supply, price tend to be high. So that's the challenge. For example, during rains, when there is plenty of pasture, hence high milk production, but the price comes down. The opposite is true during dry season, where there is less pasture, there is low milk, but the price now increases. When drought sets in, the pasture decreases, lowering milk production while the price increases. So this tends to frustrate the producer. When the producer has more products, then the price is low at the market. When now the producer is only having few products, then the price is when it is high. So that frustrates the producer. What can be the possible solution? To ensure price stabilization, storage should be improved to ensure product supply throughout the year. Apart from that, farmers should also have price contracting to ensure they do not fetch low price during times of high price. So they should be on contract in some of the institutions or organizations so that they should be supplying those products. Most of the times, if you are in contract, when it comes to supplying the products, there is a fixed price. It does not change, even when the price at the market is high or when the price at the market is low. So it is fixed. Another challenge associated with agricultural marketing is bulkiness. I think you can agree with me that most agricultural produce are heavy and voluminous and hence expensive to transport and store. So that's the challenge. Because of this, it will lead to increase in the cost of marketing. So what are the possible solutions? There is need to develop efficient transport system, for example, rail transport, good roads and ports which have the capacity to handle bulk goods at reasonable costs. Then we also have poor transport and communication as another challenge associated with agricultural marketing. Agricultural production is largely practiced in the rural areas where transport and communication system is very poor, hence increasing cost in marketing and making farmers unable to access markets. So these products they will reach the where they are intended to be sold while they are spoiled. So that's the challenge again. The possible solution: make sure that roads, rails, seaports and airports should be improved to enable the produce to reach the market at the right time. And also modern communication should be made accessible to enable producers to access market with highest price. For example, installation of high optic fiber cables for fast internet access, lowering the cost of mobile phones and the polling cost. Low state of knowledge is also another challenge associated with agricultural marketing. Sometimes farmers are ignorant of the market conditions. This is usually so because most of them are not highly educated, and they hence tend to be exploited by the middlemen who offer low prices for their produce. Or sometimes just because they lack knowledge on how much they can sell or the product, sometimes they can be selling at high price, but most of the times they sell at low price just because some of the people, the middlemen, they take advantage that they do not have knowledge about the price of that commodity, so they exploit them. Possible solution towards that problem: there is need to eliminate these middlemen. Farmers should join cooperatives which have the benefit of organized marketing. These cooperatives, they can do market research and know how much that particular commodity is being sold at the normal market. So farmers should also be educated on price theories and be informed on where and when to sell so as to fetch the highest price. And the most important thing is to improve communication infrastructure such as optic fiber cable, which should be supplied all over the country for easy access of internet information, so that the farmer should also be should access information, more especially the market information on the internet, so they can easily know how much that particular commodity is being sold elsewhere. Change in market demand is also another challenge associated with agricultural marketing. Producers tend to lose their market produce due to change in market demand. A consumer taste of a produce may change, or price of rated substitute products may affect market demand. This makes the producer to lose their market, and hence they're forced to sell their produce at low price. Most of the times the consumers, they change in terms of what they want. You may do the research that most consumers, they want this product, then you go and produce that product. But when you have produced that product, you find that some of those consumers, that they no longer want that product. So it's a challenge. So the possible solution is just by price contracting with potential buyers. Once you have done the market research, you should find the possible buyers and sign a contract with them. This will help the producers to secure their market at a good price. Then there is also this problem associated with agricultural marketing, which is change in market supply. Farmers tend to experience both deficit and surplus based on seasons. Sometimes you find that there are more products when they are on season. Sometimes there are less products when those products are off season. So it's a challenge, just because this can be occasioned by natural catastrophes such as floods, uh, drought, pests, and disease outbreaks. So because of this, may either lead to increase or decrease in number of producers, uh, affecting market supply. In this leads to price fluctuation. All these which we are talking about can lead to price fluctuation, more especially when they are in deficit. The supply will be low, but the price will be higher at the market. When they are surplus, there will be many at the market, but the price will be low. So it's really the challenge. So what can be the possible solution towards this? Number one, price contracting can help the farmers secure market with good prices. Apart from that, producers should be equipped with market information to enable them predict future market conditions. And this will help them to be flexible in the scale of production, for instance, increasing or decreasing acreage of production. So that makes the end of categories of marketing functions. Categories of marketing functions and the possible, the challenges associated with agricultural marketing and their possible solution. I think we have learned a lot from this lesson, and we'll be able to practice in our various places, so that the profit should be attained more when we are engaged in farming as a business. So that makes it the end of the topic. And here are some few questions which I need you to answer. First, define the term marketing functions. Then explain the various marketing functions. Remember there are three, so you need to describe or explain those various marketing functions. Apart from that, describe the problems associated with agricultural marketing and suggest the possible solutions. So next time when we meet, we'll discuss on agro-based industries. This is another interesting topic. Wish you also like it, agro-based industries. For now, goodbye.